Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Physics 101 Day 5. That's right, everyone. This is our second to last day. Well done getting through Physics 101 so far. I hope you've enjoyed it and that you've also learned a bit about Newton's first 3 laws of motion. Today, we're going to move a little bit outside of those laws of motion and talk with one another about this, gravity. Today, put on our gravitas. Today we are talking about gravity, and I think it'll be really interesting and exciting. We have some cool simulations that we're going to do at the end of class as well. So look forward to it. I wanted at the very beginning to review the objectives with you, what we started out to accomplish a week and a half ago with one another, and kind of give you a little synopsis of what the rest of our time together is going to look like. So our objectives were that you, the students, will be able to identify Newton's 3 laws of motion. We've got laws of physics there, but laws of motion, and apply the formulas. So we talked about force equals mass times acceleration, that formula, and make connections with everyday life. Today, most of what we're going to be doing together is making those connections with everyday life. And about something real basic, why your feet stay on the ground and you do not float off into space. Why at night, when you look up, you can see the moon that is orbiting the Earth and not flying off into space. And why our Earth orbits the sun and doesn't fly off into space. The answer to those 3 questions are all right here, gravity. And hopefully within the next hour and a half, you're going to understand that concept well enough to tell your friends and family about it this evening at dinner. I also wanted to thank you for taking that little assessment that we took together yesterday. Well done, everyone. You did really well. If you haven't checked your 5 Keys email recently, you should do that. When I get work from you, I read it and grade it and give it a grade. And all of that has Google Classroom sends out automatically an email to your system, sometimes with notes, sometimes not, but saying it's been graded. And you can look at your assignments to check what comments I left there. Yesterday, I graded all of those assessments. And so your grade on the assessment is there as well, and you can see what you got right and what you got wrong. Most of you got pretty much everything right. You did really well, everybody. So double check those grades and let me know if you have questions about anything, your grade or the information that we covered, anything you want to ask. I am here for you. All right, we are going to jump right in then with gravity. Newton came up with a universal law of gravitation. Universal because he said his law of gravitation applied to everything in the universe. From the teeny tiniest little speck of dust to the solar system itself. His law of gravitation went like this. You're going to hear this a couple different times in the next hour, but here's the first one. Gravity is the force that attends a body, that attracts a body toward the center of the Earth or toward any other physical body. Gravity is the force which attracts anything with mass, any body with mass, be it teeny tiny or huge like the sun, toward any other body with mass. It's that simple according to Newton. We are going to look today, we're going to start with Newton and look at that a little bit, and pretty quickly you're going to notice we have moved out of Newton to Einstein. We haven't talked very much about anyone but Isaac Newton together. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Albert Einstein. You're going to see a relatively longer video than we usually watch, it's about 9 minutes, that'll talk about Newton's theory of gravity and what Einstein added to it. But I'm jumping ahead a little bit. We'll get there in just a moment. We're going to watch our first video explaining what gravity is, that explanation I just gave you. It's a short little video, so go ahead and just pause this one, jump over to another one, it's just a minute long, and then come back to this video, and we'll keep going, talking together about what that video said about what gravity is. So you want to pause. Oh, I'm going to show you where to find it. Sorry, I'm going to screen share again, show you where the video is within Google Classroom. And you'll pause me, watch that video, and we'll come back. I'll see you back here in just a minute. So, screen sharing with you. Here we are, screen share to my desktop. Move you over here to Google Classroom. Once again, I've organized my classroom so it's just showing day 5. I think that's helpful. You might want to do that as well. Here I have a little text to begin us off. I'm going to read it out loud to you. Newton's law of gravity says that gravity is a force that acts between any two objects with mass. And that force increases if the mass increases. So the larger the object, the stronger the force. And it decreases if the distance between the two objects increases. In other words, the closer two objects are to one another, the stronger the force. The further they are from each other, the weaker the force. The force is also attractive. That is, it also works to pull objects closer together. This is why objects fall to the ground and the moon doesn't fly away from the Earth. Newton's laws have been indispensable in our world. They are certainly not all of physics, but the use of them has accomplished much, not the least of which was getting man to the moon. So if you would like to read a little bit more, I have that link for you right there. That's a short synopsis of what we're talking about today. Now we're going to watch this video, Day 5, Video 1, What is Gravity? So go ahead, pause the video you're watching right now of me, and we'll watch this little video together, and then I'll see you back here in about a minute and 24 seconds. All right, everybody. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that short little video on what gravity is. Did you notice some of the things that gravity holds in place, including the atmosphere around our Earth? In other words, without gravity, there would be no existence. You and I, we couldn't live if gravity wasn't, if it didn't exist, if it wasn't a real thing, holding us all down in place, holding the air we breathe around us. Pretty amazing, right? Something we don't think about every day, and yet integral for life. Now, Newton came up with this universal law of gravitation, but he had a little problem. He could explain what it was, but not how it was. Newton theorized that the same force which caused the apple to drop on his head was the same force that caused the Earth to orbit around the sun and the moon to orbit around the Earth. And by the way, he came up with that theory when he was just 23 years old. Pretty amazing, huh? Keep telling you guys, you can do anything. Age doesn't matter. Anyway, so Newton came up with this idea that the thing that governs falling here on Earth is the same principle, the same idea, the same force which governs the entire universe. He knew that. He even came up with a mathematical formula to talk about it, but he could not for the life of him explain why it was. We're going to watch another video, and it's going to begin, and it's going to review a little bit what we just heard about gravity and begin to get into that problem. Yes, gravity holds everything down, but why? Okay, I'm going to screen share with you again. This time this video is going to end. You're going to watch the new video and then come back for the second part of our live in-class video for Day 5. Now, just a tip, I wrote it into Google Classroom as well. This video that we're about to watch together, it's about 5 minutes long. The part that I really want you to hear goes up through 2 minutes and 30 seconds. After that, he gets into some stuff that we haven't talked about with each other yet and could be a little confusing. You are more than welcome to watch the entire video if it interests you, but really, I just want you to watch up to minute 2 and 30 seconds. And you'll notice, after he starts talking about mass, he starts talking about things that we haven't even touched on yet. If that confuses you, just turn it off. Don't worry about the rest of the video. If it interests you, go ahead and watch the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to show you where that video is right now by screen sharing with you. And then this video will end and we'll come back see you just in about 5 minutes for video number 2. So coming over here to screen share with you, Google Classroom. Here we are. Okay, here we are. You can see my Google Classroom. This is the video I'd like you to watch called What is Gravity? Again, you only need to watch the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of it, unless you'd like to keep watching. And then I want you to answer this question. I'd like you to please write the definition of gravity in your own words. Now, for those of you who have found copying and pasting a real fun thing to do, I get it, and that's okay with some of the questions, but I want this one in your own words. So no copying and pasting for this one. All right, this video is going to end. Go ahead and enjoy the video, What is Gravity? And I'll see you back for live in class video number 2 in just a moment.